Hello students, this is the second part of the poem Ode to a Skylark. We have studied the 5 stanzas in the last video. Now we will continue the next stanzas. So let us begin the poem. All the earth and air with thy voice is loud, as when night is bare from one lonely cloud, the moon rains out her beams, and heaven is overflowed. Sage, all the earth and air with thy voice is loud, that the whole earth and the whole atmosphere seems to be filled to overflowing with the song of the skylark. As when night is bare, and at the time of night, from one lonely cloud, the moon rains out her beams, and heaven is overflowed. And at the time of night, when the moon emerges from behind a single cloud in the sky, the moonlight fills the whole earth as well as sky. The earth and the sky flooded with the music of the skylark in the same way as they are flooded with the bright light of the moon. What thou art we know not. What is most like thee? From rainbow clouds there flow not drops so bright to see, as from thy presence showers a rain of melody. In these lines, Sage, addressing the skylark, what thou art we know not. That it is unknown to us what the skylark is, what is most like thee, and it is not possible to us, to the skylark, to think of anything that closely resembles to it. From rainbow clouds there flow not drops so bright to see, as from thy presence showers a rain of melody. The music flowing from the skylark is so pleasant, it's so delightful that it cannot be compared even to the bright raindrops falling from the sky. The beautiful raindrops, the beautiful scene in which the raindrops are falling from the rainbow clouds. So, Sage that the music of skylark is awesome. Like a poet hidden in the light of thought, singing hymns unbidden till the world is wrought to sympathy with hopes and fears it heeded not. Like a poet hidden in the light of thought, in these lines, Shelley compares the skylark to a poet. He says, the invisible skylark may be compared to a poet in the light of thought, who is hidden from the public gaze, in the light of thought, singing hymns unbidden. The poet goes on singing his songs. Ultimately, his songs do begin to produce an effect upon the pupil, till the world is wrought to sympathy with hopes and fears it heeded not. The poet regularly tries to write poems until pupil to listen to him and try to understand him. At last, the world is moved to sympathy with the poet hopes and fears which were previously not understood by pupils. The idea is that skylark keeps singing till we are moved to admiration for its song. Like a highborn maiden in a palace tower, soothing her love-laden soul in secret hour, with music sweet as love, which overflows her bower. The skylark is here compared to a young damsel of high birth, means princess. The girl is supposed to be residing in a palace tower, like a highborn maiden in a palace tower. The girl is supposed to be residing in a palace tower where she sings the song of love, soothing her love-laden soul in secret hour. She is singing these love songs to attain some relief by giving an outlet to the intensity of her passion of love. With music sweet as love, which overflows her bower. Her songs are as sweet as her passion of love. Here, the poet wants to tell us that the girl herself is not visible to outsiders because she is confined in the tower, but the songs of the girl overflow her apartment and are heard by people outside. So, the skylark is invisible to our eyes, but the sweet music of skylark is audible to us. Like a glow warm golden in a dell of dew, scattering unbeholden, it's a real hue among the flowers and grass which screen it from the view. Like a glowworm golden, Salleh says that the skylark is like a glowworm flying above a beautiful, shining in a dell of dew. Dell of dew means the dew covered grass and flowers. In these lines, Salleh says that the glowworm golden, it means Jugnu. The glowworm golden is the glowworm is invisible because it is hidden by grass and leaves, scattering unbeholden its real hue among the flower and grass. But we cannot recognize it by the light. We can recognize it. It scatters light around it. Among the flowers and grass, we can recognize this glowworm by its light among the flowers and grass which screen it from the view, and we are aware by seeing its light that there is a glowworm in the mid flowers and grass. The same way, we cannot see a skylark in the aerial region, but we are well conscious that its music is coming to our ears, so we are aware of its presence. Like a rose embowered in its own green leaves, by warm winds deflowered, till the scent it gives makes faint, with too much sweet those heavy winged thieves. Salleh compares the skylark to a rose. He says, like a rose embowered in its own green leaves. He says that we may not be able to see a rose which is wrapped up in its green leaves, but we shall certainly conscious of it till the scent it gives because of its sweet scent makes faint with too much sweet those heavy winged thieves. But when the warm wind blows, it seems to rob the rose on the rose's sweet fragrance. It means by seeing a flower, we cannot think about its fragrance, about its scent, but we can feel it. In the same way, we cannot feel the presence of a skylark by seeing it, but by listening its music, we can feel its presence. Those heavy winged thieves, the wind which steals the rose's sweetness becomes so heavy with the fragrance that its movement becomes slow. In the same way, the physical presence of the skylark is not visible to our eyes, but we become aware of the presence of the skylark because of its sweet songs, which are loud enough to reach our ears. Students, we will continue the next stanzas in the next video.